let me share some things with you I think are important. I think we need to move. And if I'm still freezing, I know maybe it's the cloud cover and so forth that's going on. So if you're there, come on, tune in. I want to share with you. Good morning, Richard Jardine. I'm coming back. My system froze up. So I'm coming back. I want to share this information with you. I think it's important. Good morning, Christopher Mark. How you doing? Bless you, man. Floyd, you still there, brother? Daisy Marie, Terrence, let me know if I'm still freezing, and I'll just have to wait until I move around until the clouds lift. It's foggy out here, right? So here's what I'm saying to you. I am a candidate for state senator, and I'm running for Mississippi District Senate District 29. And because of my heart, I want people to understand my why. And I want you to understand my why because I believe when people understand your why, it helps them understand that maybe this is a time in life where we got to really step up. I believe we all have to step up. Man, what really blessed me on yesterday was after I called the founder of Full Gospel, Bishop Paul Martin, and he returned my call, which he's so great with that. He always does return people's calls. And I told him that I was running for Senate District 29. And man, he excitedly told me, we need righteous men and women in government, in the State House. A few months ago when I was making my decision, I talked to Tom Rayner, and Dr. Rayner told me, we need righteous men in government. But one of my most blessed conversations was with Pastor Terry. Pastor Terry lives down the road from me. Pastor Terry, ever since I can remember, I only remember him as a believer. Ever since I was even a little boy, he was a young deacon at Mount Wade Baptist Church. And I was walking this week, and I walked past Pastor Terry's house. He was outside, so I spoke to him as I always do and told him, I'm coming back by. I want to sit down and talk to you. And when I sat down and talked to him, I didn't know what to expect. And he blessed me and said, when I saw your sign that you were running for state senate in our area, he said, it blessed me. Because he said, we've not had representation out here. And he said, we need righteous people in government. Here's what I'm saying. I know what the scripture says. There's no one righteous, no, not one. But I'm saying a lifestyle of righteousness that cares about people, cares about the least of these. And it's not just focused on the folk up here, but all people. So I'm excited to be here, and I want you to understand that, you know, years ago when my wife and I graduated from college, with our master's degrees together at the same time in 1995, we were headed out of state. And I read a book by Dolphus Weary entitled, I Ain't Coming Back. And I talked to my advisors, and God led me not out of state, but he led me to come back to my roots. And I came back to my roots. I came back to where I graduated high school. I came back to where I lived most of my life, and actually where generations of my family still resides. And I chose to go teach school in Edwards, Mississippi. Why? Because I wanted to be a part of a place in an area where the most vulnerable people, children, live. And I went there and I met people that forever changed my life. I met a Miss Pickett there, changed my life. Mr. Pope changed my life. But Miss Williams, like, adopted me as a son. And Miss Williams took me out one day. After I'd been there a couple of weeks, she took me out to this long ride to go and look for a student that had not come to school yet. And I'm telling you, we rode for miles and miles, and I didn't know where we were going. Thought Miss Williams might have been kidnapping me. Turned on this dusty road, and we drove, seemed like again, for miles and miles for a house, sitting back, way back in the back. And when we got out, she went up to the door, and an old lady came, and Miss Williams said, "Where is he?" She pointed over there, and Miss Williams went over there and told the young man to get up. He was up under the car, a car on block, just laying there. And she told him to get up, and that young man stood up, and it seemed like it took hours for him to stand up. He was so tall. And she had new clothes and new shoes. She said, "You coming to school, and you going to get an education." And she gave him new shoes and new clothes to wear and all those things. And when I saw that, I knew I was where God had assigned me. I knew I was in the place I was supposed to be. Because that's what I saw my mother do in LeFlore County. So I've chosen to build a life in Hinds County. I then moved to Rowan Middle School in the inner city, Brinkley Middle School as an administrator. But I chose to be in Hinds County. I got called to a church, a little small church in Hinds County, New Jerusalem. And I've been there for 27 years in counting. And God blessed us to grow, and we have multiple campuses, founded schools, preschools, employed people. For over 20-something years, we've been doing this, right? And I never thought about telling people about it. I never thought about all that. I just wanted to serve my people. And I wanted to serve people, regardless of race, who needed just that little leg up. And that's what I've done for the last 27 years. That's what I've been doing. Howbeit, I wish I could have done it perfectly, but Floyd, I want you to know that's what I've been doing. Sheena Marie, whoever you are, that's what I've been doing. And I made a choice. I chose to be in Hinds County. I chose to do so. I helped pass a $26 million bond issue that did not pass the year before. I worked as a reconciler of people. I worked to build community. I chose to do so. And I want you to understand something. I'm asking you to choose me. I'm asking for citizens in District 29 to choose me as your next state senator. But I need support and help, not just from citizens of District 29. I need support and help wherever you are. If you have a concern for people in the state of Mississippi, we need your help and your support to make it happen. I'm very new to politics. I'm very new to never have run for office. And I'm running against David Blunt, a 16-year incumbent. What I want to do and what my vision calls for are the three things I have lived my life on for the past almost 30 years. That is economic empowerment, educational empowerment, and for me as a pastor, evangelistic empowerment. But for me in this context, it's about ethical empowerment. It's about improving the quality of life for all people, right? So it's serious to me, but I think in order to do that, we got to have these things in place and we got to be working. Number one of the key areas of my agenda is economic development. We must have an economic plan that reflects the best interests and unique characteristics of our diverse community. We got to have an understanding that we got to create a business-friendly environment by reducing all these regulations on small businesses, and we got to capitalize on investment incentives as well as cultivate the areas, our diverse industries. But listen to what I'm saying now. We got to promote sustainable growth and job creation. But it can't be just for the rich and the wealthy. There are incentives for small businesses. There are things available for small farmers. There's so much available in the area of economic development, and we got to capitalize on it. And I'm going to take my 30 years of growing ministry, operating businesses, working in the nonprofit sector, serving on boards, serving as a vice president, a head of schools, vice president of a college, serving as a board member at one of our leading Christian universities. I'm going to take all of those things and my connections and my drive to help foster economic development. Secondly, our education system. Our education system is the backbone. We've got to have an education system. We got to make our education system strong. We got to build it, right? We got to make sure. And as a former teacher, I was a former teacher. Understand, I taught third grade, 7th and 8th grade, 5th, 6th. I've taught on the college level. But our children deserve a fair public education that is adequately funded, prepared, and managed right. And that is why, under my leadership, if you will choose me as the next senator for District 29, we will work tirelessly to complete educational reforms. And I'm telling you, my track record speaks to results. My track record speaks to being able to fight through struggle, to fight through pain, to bring people together, to create solutions. Thirdly, I want to improve the quality of life. It's crucial. We got to improve the quality of life. Just listen to me here. We got to revitalize our parks. We got to reduce litter. We got to secure our neighborhoods from burglaries. We got to tackle other quality of life parameters, all prioritizing enhancing the general welfare and healthy lifestyles of all residents, not just those in a certain region, not just those with a certain social economic background. It has to be for all people. And we got to work within our community partners and stakeholders and law enforcement officers to develop, implement, and study reforms that will create a better quality of life and opportunities for everybody. We want to do that for everybody. And these are the principles that I stand on. Don't misunderstand my fight. I've been a supporter of police all of my life. And I will continue to support proper policing for the rest of my life. That which you heard me shouting to the rooftops about is what I believe was improper policing that took the lives of people unnecessarily, that is harassing people only in a certain geographic region. And we need to deal with crime, and we got to have proper police, and people need to feel safe and have a safe, family-friendly environment to raise their children. But what we cannot do is become a place that mistreats the least of these. That's what you're going to get under my watch. If you'll choose me, like I've chosen this county, I live on the road, the same road where my parents were married in the church down the street. I live on the road, same place, with my grandparents right down the street. I live and work in the city with my grandparents and my great-grandparents. What I'm telling you is, I'm a candidate, and I need your support. I need your prayers. I need your person to help work communities. And I need your financial support. That has been the hardest thing for me to ask. But I'm understanding that campaigns cost money. And the truth of the matter is, in regard to this, in regard to finances, I am David and my opponent is Goliath. And I want you to know something. I know that I'm going to work with all my heart, and I'm going to give you everything I have. And I'm excited because my church members and my leadership of my church has joined me in this effort and given me their blessing. So I'm not going to stop pastoring. I'm not going to be a career politician. I'm going to continue to work because it's a part-time job, but I'm going to give full-time effort every day of my life. I'm asking you to choose me as your next state senator. Right? Hey, God bless you. I got to go. I'll be back. I'm headed to New Jerusalem for the preschool graduation, the kindergarten graduation of a school that I founded over 25 years ago, and my granddaughter is getting ready to graduate from kindergarten. So I got to go be pawpaw. Not senator, not pastor, but I'm going to go be pawpaw. So I love y'all. Peace. Share this with as many people as you will. I love you. God bless.